during tumultuous times, so many instances of where we have the ability to be able to push through. Yet so many times we fall off, we get unbalanced, we get pushed back on our heels. So many things happen. Why does that happen? And how do we keep it from happening? We're going to talk about that on this episode of 163 of The Relaxed Male.
This is The Relaxed Male, a show that comes to you each week helping men to remove the nice guy from their life so they can actually live their life on their terms. Join the host, certified coach Brian Goodwin, as he helps men step out of their heads and become free from the thoughts that bind them.
Hey man, hello and welcome to Relaxed Male. I am your host, Brian, and I'm a certified men's life coach. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come to the show, put your earbuds in, and to see what we're talking about today. And we're talking about being off balance. But before we actually get started, I wanted to thank all the new guys that have come in. We've got more new folks coming in. We got somebody who just downloaded like the last 50 episodes of of the show. And it's amazing when things like that happen, because you get these little extra large spikes, and it's amazing. Because of that, it tickles me to the bone to see guys who are going, all right, well, let's see what else what else is this dude's talking about. Of course, granted, 50 other old episodes, that's a whole lot of Brian to be listening to. And I apologize to you. And if you got to listen to just a couple episodes and then stop and go listen to somebody else with a little bit less of a hickey voice, I get you. I get you. I don't fault you in the least. There's times I try to change my accent enough to where I'm not bothering. I don't bother myself. So if you feel like you've got to stop and go, man, I've got to get a palate cleanser going on here, I'm starting to go yeehaw and everything. I get you. I get you. What else has been happening this week? Well, not a whole heap of lot, other than you probably are noticing a little bit of the sound of my voice has changed, and that's because I've been fighting a man cold from hell, and I finally got around to where I'm not quite. I was able to do throat music for a little bit, and it sounded really cool. I wish I'd recorded some, but sadly, I would have infected everybody here in the office, and I don't think they would have been none too pleased about that, because wow, it does. I slept on and off and was in the bed for long enough time to my back was going, screw you, dude. Get up, get moving around, doing something. I don't care how much pain you think you're in, because I can't handle this no more. So we're, I'm here. I'm trying to mute every time I cough. If the cough ends up sneaking in here, I do apologize in advance. Also, if you hear some random weird noises, we have got, it's a nice enough day here in Oklahoma that we've got, some construction guys that are putting in a Scooter's Coffee right next door to the office. And so it's kind of cool to see them do what they do and see what it takes to actually erect a building and a whole new parking lot. And they're putting in a whole new parking lot, by gosh. We've had cement trucks coming in all day today, and they've been dumping and running. So it's neat to see and neat to watch, and it's been an interesting lesson the past several weeks, as they've been hammering away and driving away and grinding away and using God knows how much water. So I didn't realize it took that much water to build something, but apparently it does. So I want to talk about today what knocks you off balance and what it takes to actually get yourself back in balance. And the reason why this comes up so many times is because men, we often think that we can keep to our old ways and easily become overwhelmed with all the new stuff that comes flying at us left, right, and center. And when things really start coming, especially if you're in something like a very difficult divorce, or if you're in a high conflict type of divorce. You're going to have people who your wife or ex-wife is going to try to do so many different things that are designed to just push you back on your heels, try to get you off your guard, to get you just to drop whatever defenses you think you have to survive. And because of this, this is where you hear me talk about the 4 pillars so many times. And one of the big parts of the 4 pillars is feeding a man's soul. Is the third pillar is a man's soul. And this is why having the man's soul, having that purpose comes in so handy, is because when you have a purpose, you have something to focus in on. And a good example of what happens is when you're off balance, small things will set you off. There's things coming at you all the time, just zing, 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 zing. You seem like you can't quite get a break. You can't quite, if you are able to accomplish anything, it is a fight to get those things done. You find yourself in a scarcity mindset a whole lot more. You find that there's a whole lot more drama in your life when you're back on your heels, when life is coming at you almost too fast. And that's a lot of times what guys think. Yeah, we call it that we're busy, and we'll find ourselves off balance a lot of times. And we'll just say, I'm just really, really busy. Well, why are you really, really busy? And that's a question you want to ask yourself. Why are you really busy? Now, in the context of a divorce, you get knocked off balance because all of a sudden your ex-wife, soon to be ex-wife, made a really weird judgment or accusation or demand out of the blue. You thought y'all had already sat down, y'all had talked it out. Y'all were going to just sell the house and split the difference and just call it good. And all of a sudden she's like, no, I want you to buy my half of the house. She doesn't want the house anymore. Her half of the house, or she wants to have the house and you not. Or maybe she just wants the money and you have the house. Whatever it is, something that y'all had already hashed everything out, thought y'all had already had it spit shake, ready to go. And she's changed her mind. She's gone 180 degrees in what the direction y'all thought it was beforehand. That will knock you off balance because you're like, well, son of a gun, man. Can you not make up your mind? And you find yourself being easily aggravated. You find yourself easily rising to temper when you're off balance. You're off balance. You find yourself being very frustrated. You find yourself being very easy to anger. And because of that, that's where you start to make some very critical mistakes. And this is one reason why you start doing things just to spite her. You start doing things just to get her goat, and you think you're making an impact on her. And it's not, you're just causing more work for yourself than you are doing anything to her. And in all reality, her trying to do a 180 on you is doing the same thing. She's just making more work for herself. She's making more stress on herself by making all these weird non sequitur changes that happen. So here is an example of what it's like to not be to be off balance. You've done this exercise before. If you're not driving a car and you're just kind of walking, find some place that you can stand where you're not going to get hit by car or traffic or have somebody come up behind you and rob you. All right. Try to stand on one leg with your eyes open. No problem. You're able to stand on one leg with your arms out or not out. It doesn't matter. Try doing that with your eyes closed. All of a sudden, you're wobbly all over the place. You're trying to hold your arms out and it's still not doing anything. You're really swinging frantically left and right and front and back and all over the place. And you may not even be able to stand on one leg with your eyes closed. Why? Because you have to focus on something to be able to maintain your balance. That is in the physical world, as in the figurative world, as in your mental world. You have to have something to focus in on. And that's one of the great things about having a sense of purpose. And that's the big thing I wanted to talk about, was having a sense of purpose. because you can, if you have that sense of purpose, that's already, and you're going through a divorce, you're actually going to fare through this a lot better because one, you are focused in, you have an objective to complete. Now, the objective is more than I just need to get a divorce, or I need to make sure that the ex doesn't do X, Y, and or Z. It's, I have my own crap I have to handle. And you get some ex-wives, yeah, they try to do some sneaky stuff like, I want a half of his business. All right, well, here, take the half of the office, or you take the whole office. You know, what are they going to do? What's she going to do? She's going to try to take the clientele? Well, she can if she wants. And guys, we often want to throw a fit if she's like, and I want half the client, I want everything, half of everything in the business. All right, well, then you take your half. I'm going to take my half, and I'm going to go do my own thing. You can actually take and dissolve a business. Let her take her half, and those clients, when they realize, oh, they're getting if they're used to dealing with you, and now they have to deal with an ex-wife, your ex-wife, who is going to try to replace what you're doing. They can't. She can't, because there's only one of you, and you're taken. All right. She can't replicate you. And because she is trying to steal your own idea, it is not an original idea. And so it will shine through to what she's doing. And she may be able to take it and start with your ideas, and she may be able to morph it into something completely different. And if she is, then great, awesome, slave. Good job. All right. And carry on. It's not interfering with you near as much as she wants to think it is, and nor as much as you think it will. If you're off balance with that whole scenario, everything she does trying to dig into your own business is going to be a crisis in your world. It's going to be, oh my God, what's she doing? Why is she doing, and you're going to be always on the defensive. You're going to be trying to play catch up and try to get your feet back underneath you. And it's next to impossible to do so when you're backpedaling. So to worry about something like that's not going to do any good. So your purpose is to, say, provide the best possible service that you actually can to your clients, right? At least that's what I've always thought a purpose of a service-based business was. And so when you find your purpose, if you don't have a purpose, then, and we're going to get into that moment, there's no better time than the present to find out what your actual calling is. But this is for the guys right now who already have a purpose. They've taken the time, they've worked it through, they've narrowed it down, they've got their purpose, they know what their calling is, they know what they're supposed to be doing, and they're damn good at it. You guys, if your ex-wife comes in and starts trying to cause trouble, you're not gonna have a problem with it. You're not going to have her. She can sit there and throw whatever fits and problems and drama all she wants at you. And because you have that focus, because you have your eyes set on a particular goal, she could hit you with a Mack truck and she's not going to knock you over, figuratively speaking again. But if you try to do any of this, try to stay focused while you're in the middle of spinning out, you can do it. It's not easy, but it is something that is possible. Also, you can, if you do have a sense of purpose, and all of a sudden the ex-wife does something that actually throws you for a big ass loop, yeah, she can actually knock your focus off, and then she's got you. She could sit there and throw more stuff at you and cause you to backpedal. Now, the way I'm talking, it's not meaning that it's a battle. This is, can you knock her off her balance before you? It's not what I'm trying to get at. But a lot of people want to look at divorce as it is a life and death battle of just, and these are two people who used to love each other at one time. Yet for whatever reason, somebody had a thought about something else. And so that whole relationship crumbled. And now it's just scarcity and fear. And that's where the continuous battle for survival comes into play. When in reality, it's not. It has nothing to do with survival. Guess what? When you get done, you're going to have your own life. You get done, your ex-wife is going to have her own life. Now, what she thinks of her new life is completely upon her. And if she hasn't done the thought work, she's going to suffer. And she's probably going to want to continue to torment you with it because, misery loves company. So if she can't be happy with her lot that she chose, then she's going to want to make sure, hey, I got to make sure, the guy who I blame for my misery is also miserable. Yet, the source of her own misery is her thoughts about where she was and where she is now. That's actually where her misery comes from. Now, let's jump over to the guys who have not found their sense of purpose yet, who do not know what their calling is. This is where exploration and adventure come into play. This is you deciding, I want to know what gets me out of bed in the morning. This is where you have to, your main focus becomes finding your focus, essentially. Your purpose is to find your purpose. And you don't stop until you do find your purpose. Because once you do find your purpose, you're not stopping until you have completed your purpose. And if you're still alive when you've completed your purpose, guess what you're doing? You're finding another purpose. And we just keep doing that until we complete our purpose and we're dead. That our goal is to continually be pursuing some type of purpose, some type of objective until the end of our life. There's a reason why there is no word for retire in the Hebrew language. They don't believe that you retire. They believe you provide value until you're called home to God, or until you die. I can't remember exactly. I don't know if the Jewish folks believe you go into heaven or not. Anyhow, I'm not Jewish. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my butt now. So anyhow, why do you want to find your purpose? Well, first off, you end up getting a drive that shines in your personality. You start becoming very attractive to other people, men and women, when you have a purpose, when you have a drive to yourself and you know where you're wanting to go and what it takes to get there, you're going to let the world know. You're just going to glow a light that no one will ignore. Another way is if you stop focusing on it causes you to stop focusing in on the little insignificant stuff. Your wife wants every other weekend. Oh, okay. Well, fine. If you want every other weekend, have every other weekend. I'll take whatever days you have left. I want the kids, and you're going to get the kids. And it's because you're not worried about the details of it, because that technically you're going to get the kids at least half the time. You're going to take the important things to heart. You're going to let the little stuff slide. Your attitude is going to be one of gratitude and of abundance. While if you don't have a sense of purpose, you're going to be in scarcity land. You're not going to have enough of anything. You're going to sit there and see your bank account going away and disappearing, and she's running off with it all, instead of what actually is the case of you're protecting your interests and you're having to give it to a lawyer. And that your ex-wife is trying to protect what her interests are and ensure that she gets she's taken care of. And things do balance out. I've seen more times than not that men who are good, upstanding, honest men do end up having a good relationship once they're done with the divorce. But one of the other benefits is that you drop the need for the drama in your life. And that's a big one right there, because believe it or not, yes, guys, we do like drama in our life. We will create drama in our own heads just so we have something to think about. What were you thinking when she handed you the divorce papers that one night? Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And your brain just kicked up and started creating all this drama. You had all this thought drama going on. And that thought drama was just being repeated over and over and over and over and over and over in your head. Why? Because we like drama. Drama is a very indulgent emotion. It is an indulgent action. It keeps us from having to deal with the important stuff at hand. However, if we have a purpose and we have our calling and we're doing everything we can, we're driven to make sure we get that completed, then, that drama, we may have a little drama here and there. It's, oh my gosh, you get angry, or you have all the different emotions that are associated with the drama, and then it's done. It's like, oh, God dang it. And then, screw it. I've got to get over here. And you're going to go back into work, and you're going to go back into the zone, and you're going to get that taken care of. And you know that the rest of the stuff will actually be handled as it needs to be handled. You get more done by having a sense of a drive to your sense of purpose. And you get more done than anybody who doesn't have a purpose. You make the people who don't have a sense of purpose jealous with how much stuff you get done. And they go, well, I wish I had the same amount of time a day as they did. Well, guess what, dude? You've got the same 24 hours. The difference is they are the people who are driven take action. The people who aren't driven, they talk about taking action. They don't ever actually do it. They just kind of sit there and go, that'd be nice if I could do something like that. Well, you could do something like that. You just have to decide you want to do something. Instead of complaining, instead of bitching, moaning, get yourself out there, get it going, get it done. Start taking a step towards whatever your goal is, whatever your purpose is. Get that done. And you will find that the drama in your life is nowhere near as big as it appeared when you were bored and you were fat and you were out of shape and you were not educated and you were just there. When you were just a bump on a log, drama seemed huge. But the moment that you ended up stopping the whole drama fiasco and you started deciding, you know what? I want X, Y, and Z, and you start working towards X, Y, and Z, everything else is A-okay. You can get it done. You can do it. It just takes the fact that you have to get focused. You have to stop running over to the dear darling ex-wife who wanted the divorce every 5 seconds going, oh, yes, dear. Now, do you still love her? I'm sure you do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with still loving your ex-wife. I would actually recommend when you are dealing with your wife, deal with what's going on in her life and make the decisions that she is going through. Focus in on what your thoughts are through the lens of what love is. All right. She comes and says, well, I'm not going to be able to make I'm not going to be able to live my life the way I want to live it on $20,000 a month. I know that's stupid ass insane amount of money, but it's just what jumped in my head. And you're going, well, neither can I, because I don't make $20,000 a month. So how am I supposed to? What am I supposed to do? That would be cause for a very big mental spin up, and that would cause a lot of men to just be focused in on the very dollar amount. Not that it's absurd. And it's not that she said, hey, I'm going to be asking you I need you to pay me $20,000 a month. That's, she may just be coming to you with that whole line of thinking. Well, that's her line of thinking. Your line of thinking could be something completely different. And her emotional stack that comes from that thought of the situation, the circumstance being, she needs to have $20,000 to live. That might be her circumstance. Yeah, she could change her circumstance by not living on, trying to live off of $20,000 a month. She could, easily, half that. I don't know where she plans on living, where she's that 20,000. God, that's a lot of freaking money, isn't it? Whoa. So that just makes me sweat. Just thinking about trying to cough up $20,000 a month for an ex-wife. especially since nowadays most women make more money than men. But either way, life can knock you off balance. And your balance being from a divorce can mean a whole bunch of things. But those, if you're willing to take the time to get yourself focused in on what you want to make, or focused in on what you want to do, and you can learn what your strengths and weaknesses are, figure out what you want to do with your life, you can have the life you really want to live, and you can have a really damn sweet life. All you have to do is you have to decide what it is you want to do. If you would like help on being able to do that, reach out. Let me know. You can go to relaxedmale.com/coaching and set up a time for us to do a consult call. You and me will get on the phone together. We'll talk it out, see what's going on. And from there, we can see, hey, this is going to be a really good fit. This is what we can do. This is how we can get things going and help you to become a more seriously balanced man, so that no matter what the ex-wife is throwing at you through this time, it's just going to bounce off of you. It's not really that important in the scheme of things. You let her worry about her life. Let her have all the drama she wants to live. Your life is going to be your life, and your thoughts are your thoughts, and your emotions are going to be your emotions. So if that interests you, please reach out to me. If you know somebody who you believe would really benefit from hearing this particular podcast, this particular episode, shoot them an email, shoot them a message. Take every podcast platform has a share button. Hit that share button and post it up onto Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else. Send it as a text message. That will do the guy you're thinking of a huge favor, because he can just hit it, download the episode, listen to it, and get the knowledge that you wanted to share with him. If you want to help him to become a better man, lead him over to relaxedmale.com, show him where he can subscribe to the show and get it for each week each week on every Thursday. And I can't talk for some reason all of a sudden. And I'd be delivered to your earbuds, like I said, every Thursday. So guys, with that, I want to thank you very much for listening. Y'all take care. Have a great rest of the week. We will see you next week. Till then, bye.